All right, my friends, so I just got off the phone with a guy, friggin' great guy. My client's freaking crush. Engineer out in South Carolina area. I can't tell you how many engineers I have as clients. It's funny, man. And so we got to talking, and I said, "Oh, engineer, shocking," just because I have so many of them. It's funny because engineers just no nonsense guys. They just like, look, straight to the point. Don't beat around the bush. I can deal with it, pros and cons, but don't charge me an arm and a leg for services not rendered. I'm willing to pay a reasonable fee. I just want it straight to the point without any nonsense of BS. And I enjoy that immensely. But anyway, so we're running this. So before my pre-planning preparation. Wow, pre-planning preparation. Say that 5 times fast. He had a 40% probability of success. Oh no! Sorry, Jude. We'll call him Johnny. Sorry, Johnny. Johnny Rotten, you're going to have to retire. You'll have to work another 10 years. But I knew immediately what was happening. Again, a guy with limited debt. I mean, he's still got a little bit of a mortgage, not much debt. It just, he actually kind of reminds me in some regard of my wife's sister in terms of what he's doing and helping out his kids and whatnot. It's actually pretty cool. Anyway, who happens to live in South Carolina as well. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, so before I talked to him, he had himself spending $57.33 a month in expenses and retirement. Now, that did not include health care, which when you're both on Medicare, I use $500 a month per person. It really depends on what state you're in. I was talking to a guy the other day up in, I think it's PA, and he got a freaking supplement plan G, high deductible for I think he used like $90 a month or something like that. I was like, damn, that's pretty good. Maybe it's even less than that. But anyway, so I use as a default between $500 and $550 a month for Medicare, which is Part B, Part D, and a supplemental policy. And so he had $57.33 a month. It was his expenses, but that did not include medical. That did not include the remaining he had on his mortgage. That did not include property taxes, income tax, property or income tax, homeowners insurance, or anything like that. So when I showed him, I said, "Here's why we're only." And I knew this going in. I said, "We're only 40%." He goes, "Whoa, that seems low." I said, "Yeah, of course it is." And so let me show you what it looks like. We got you spending $130,000 a year or something like that. That includes income tax. He goes, "Well, I don't spend anything like that." I said, "I know you don't. I know you don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't have this little debt." And I just showed. I did the slider bar, the right capital, and I just said, "Look, man, if we reduce your $57.33 a month in spending, and we just made it $53.50, all right, so we reduce it by, $400 a month, $5,000 a year. Your probability of success goes from 40 to like 95 or something like that. I can't remember what it was." And I said, "So just see how, like, I don't know the word fluid, or what do we call it in economics? Elastic, is that the word? I don't know, whatever it is. But you see how it's almost it's like if you drop the butterfly, when the butterfly flaps his wings in Thailand, you get a hurricane in South Carolina, something like that. You know what I'm talking about? A little bit of a hit today screws everything up 30 years from now. I don't know if that makes any sense. I hope it does. I'm trying to explain that basically just one tiny change or screw up today has huge impact 30 years from now. And you got to understand this, man. You've got to get your expenses correct. And anyway, the point being is he was using $57.33 as all-encompassing. He goes, basically, we need $70,000 a year. I'd like to spend another $10,000 a year on vacation. We are good to go. I said, exactly. We have you spending significantly more than that because we're double dipping your expenditures. that $5,733 included all the other stuff that I'm having on top of that, if that makes any sense. You just got to get your expenditures right. And as for 85% of my clients, to my chagrin, makes no sense to do Roth conversions. I'm showing them when he's on Social Security between his wife and me in 15 years, we're just using this. So I say, all right, 2036, we looked at the 1040. I say, between you and your wife, you'll get $90,000 of Social Security. Only $50,000 of that is subject to taxation. All right, and so then you factor in your RMDs, which are $40,000. So he has $140,000 of income, but his AGI was only like $90,000 or $100,000. I can't remember what it was. And then the standard deductions, the personal exemptions and whatnot. You know, his taxable income is like $60,000, something like that. And then you factor in, and so he's paying like $8,500 of federal taxes, like $140,000 of income. And in South Carolina, just like Georgia, in a lot of states, they don't tax Social Security or anything or any distributions from retirement accounts, so there's no state tax either. The point being, he's paying what, $8,000, $9,000 of taxes on $140,000 of income. There's absolutely no reason to do Roth conversions if your effective tax rate is under 10%. Anyway, the point being is get your freaking expenses right. Get them right. And look, I don't have my expenses right. I'm a hypocrite. I'm not yelling at my man. I'm not yelling at myself. I'm just saying, but that's the issue. If you're running retirement scenarios and your expenses aren't right, then you're freaking flying blind, dudes. You know what I'm saying? You're acting like Fauci when it comes to various things. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're like, oh, I'm Fauci. Okay, I got retirement model. Oh, it's wrong. Just like Fauci. You know? Your retirement model is as good as Fauci, which isn't very good if you don't know your expenses right. So get them right. All right. We'll see you guys. I'll be on the live. Well, I guess I'll probably post this after my live stream. I'm doing a live stream. Ooh, all right, I'll do another video on this. All right, God bless.